Hello, everybody. I just have a quick, very quick update. We are very tired. First thing I want to say is Sebastian is okay. However, today was a very hard day. It was a very rough day. Sebastian has a lot of fluid in his lungs. It's not uncommon after heart surgery. It's not uncommon after surgery where a breathing tube is inserted. It's foreign object going into the body, and it causes a lot of fluid. It's literally completely normal. However, it seems as though Sebastian may have aspirated some fluid, whether it was leftover blood from his first intubation or suctioning, may have scratched the inside of his nose and caused some blood, or just the secretion that's naturally in the back of his mouth. It seems like he aspirated some fluid, and there's a lot of fluid in his lungs, so he was having a very hard time breathing with just the cannula that's in his nose on regular oxygen. They put him up to high flow oxygen. He was on 15 liters, and still his oxygen levels were not good. So they put a mask. It's like it's not a CPAP, but it's a mask that it covers his nose and his mouth. And they did that for a little while, and he still was not improving how they liked, so unfortunately they had to put the breathing tube back in. I say unfortunately because it's really hard to see that process of them, putting in the tube and getting him situated, and it's sad to see him with it. Reinserting the breathing tube is the best option to get some of that out of his lungs. As a mom in some ways, and for Gio had a very hard day today. When a kid comes out of heart surgery or any surgery and the breathing tube is out, it's like a big accomplishment. It's a big deal. It's a good sign if they come out of the OR without the breathing tube. So when it has to be reinserted, as parents, it feels like a step backwards, but medically it's not. And so it's just a tough place to be because you kind of have to separate the two. You don't have any choice really. We're sad that the breathing tube is in, but we also know that it is the best option for the best recovery. So today was a very hard day, but again, Sebastian is doing fine. He's sedated and very comfortable tonight. He's just completely asleep. So in regards to the breathing tube and like everything else in his recovery, I guess you can say, this is like an isolated, separate thing. It doesn't have anything to do with the repair they did on his heart. That repair that they did on his heart is actually, it was perfect and wonderful, and it's still great. Nothing has changed about that. His heart is wonderful. It's just sometimes kids get some fluid in their lungs, and Sebastian, this isn't the first time that this has happened, that he's had trouble with the breathing tube coming out and then there being fluid and having to reintubate. It's happened before in the past, but it's been a long time. It's been 4.5 years since his last heart surgery, so there's a lot of PTSD coming back up and a lot of new PTSD and trauma, I'm sure, that's being created. It's kind of like when Sebastian was first born, obviously we loved him very much, but now we've had an extra 4.5 years of loving him even more. And it's this surgery this time around feels harder because we love him so much more, if that makes sense. So it's just very hard to see him like this. I know it's temporary. Hopefully the breathing tube comes out in a couple of days and he's feeling a lot better. So for now, we're just monitoring the fluid in his lungs and we're going to take it from there. The good news is that they were able to intubate Sebastian through his nose, which is new for us. It's usually the breathing tube goes straight into his mouth and down his throat, but they were able to put it through his nose and down, which is supposed to be more comfortable for them. It's just supposed to be more comfortable. And now that Sebastian has a breathing tube in, it is the best way to keep him medically stable. As I mentioned before, Sebastian is very sensitive to narcotics and pain medication, but now that he has that breathing tube in, they're able to give him stronger pain medication, which is wonderful. the breathing tube is sad, but it is the best thing for him. So I took a little video of him tonight. It was a very hard, long day, so Gio and I are going to go to bed. Sebastian will be sedated overnight, and I will be calling to check in, and then I will be there first thing in the morning tomorrow. I wanted to take a minute to once again thank each and every one of you who has commented and are silently or audibly praying for Sebastian and letting us know that you're praying for him. It means more to me than I can describe to you. So if you could continue praying for our little kid, I can't wait for this chapter to be done. I can't wait for this to be over and for him to be home and happy like he was before surgery.
Squirming out of your pants. He's squirming out of these.
Daddy messing.
He's squirming out of these pants.
We miss that little kid, so thank you. Sorry. But thank you. And I will update tomorrow. Thank you.